Hello everyone, my name is Maria Fernanda Casilimas Perea. I'm going to practice pronouncing phonetic symbols in English and I read a tongue twister. Well, let's start with the consonant. The first is for example, is think. Think. The next is z. 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 For example, is they. The next is v. 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 For example, is very. Very. The next is rough. Rough. The next is, for example, is run. Run. The next symbol is sh. Sh. For example, is shirt. Shirt. The next is z. 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 For example, is vision. Vision. The next is sh. Sh. For example, is chicken. Chicken. The next symbol is ja. 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 For example, is danger. Danger. The next is for example, the word king. King. The last is for example, the word is hot. Well, let's continue with the vowels. The first is E. 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 For example, is team. Team. The next is E. E. For example, the word fish. Fish. The next is M. E. For example, the word is friend. Friend. The next symbol is A. A. For example, the word cat. 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 The next is A. A. For example, car. Car. The next symbol is O. O. For example, the word top. Top. The next symbol is O. 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 For example, the word ball. Ball. The next symbol is U. 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 As in book. Book. The next is U. U. For example, the word blue. Blue. The next is A. A. For example, the word sun. 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 The next word is O. 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 For example, the word word. Word. And the last is A. A. For example, ago. Ago. Well, let's continue with the diphthong. The first is A. For example, name. Name. The next is I. I. For example, bike. Bike. The next is Oi. Oi. For example, the word boy. Boy. The next is ow. Ow. For example, cow. Cow. The next is O. O. For example, go. Go. The next is ear. Ear. As in ear. Ear. The next is air. ea, as in hair, heart. The next is ua, ua, as in tour, tour. Well, I'm going to read the tongue twister. And well, Shelley shop for shiny shoes on Thursday, showing short shirts to John. John jokes joyfully, saying, "Those shoes shine brighter than the sun." Again, Shelley shopped for shiny shoes on Thursday, showing short shirts to John. John jokes joyfully, saying, "Those shoes shine brighter than the sun." Well, thank you very much for your attention. That is all. Bye.